Go ahead and flip a coin. No, I mean it. Flip a flippin' coin, would ya? And it's time for another unbuckled bumpy ride with your guide, the stark raving LEAN-atic himself. I'm Jim. Let's jump right in again. Welcome to my podcast based on my brand new book, available on Amazon, Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N. It's a year-long guide to gratitude and our daily grind. The book that combines some timeless wisdom from a whole lot of the world's wiser people with the reflections, reactions, and wisecracks of the guide's author, me. And it guides you, the reader, through the simplest system for a happy, healthy, authentic, and genuinely grateful everyday experience. I urge you to get the book. Of course I do. I wrote it. It's either at Amazon or at my website, ampurage.com. A-M-M-P-U-R-A-G-E. But even without it, let's make next week better than last, our next year better than the past, and get started now with today's episode of Questions are so freaking cool. Especially the powerful perplexers that provoke and poke us on a personal level. Get under our skin, shall we say? Sometimes we get asked, and sometimes we ask ourselves, and sometimes the right question just hands us our own ass on a plate, and we don't know what to do with how the answer seems to make us feel. You want an example? Okay. When asked either by someone else, or you're asking yourself, why you do or don't something, fill in the blank, why you do or don't have something, fill in the blank, why you do or don't or haven't achieved or didn't achieve something, fill in the blank. If you catch yourself saying things like, well, they do or they have or they achieve their something because they have this or that, or they don't have to deal with this or that, like I do, or they, whatever it is. If the question initially wasn't about they or them, why did we obviously filter the perspective to make it that way? I hear folks do this all the time when comparing their fitness results to the bodies and the behaviors of others. And like I said, I've been in this industry for almost 4 decades, and I've seen an awful lot of success, and I've seen a fair amount of excuse. Well, why not change by flipping that coin to the other side? I mean, it is a two-headed coin, so flip it and stop saying, well, they do this because, and start saying, well, I don't because. I don't because I don't have, or I don't am, or I don't are, or I'm not. Because when you do that, at least what you've done is empower yourself to ask the question, is that true? Next, go about asking, all right, why do I not? Is it really because of this reason? Fill in the blank. We got to stop comparing justifications and start justifiably challenging ourselves. Challenging ourselves to be the person who is what I call a mere mortal. No, not a mere mortal, M-E-R-E mortal, meaning merely mortal, but a mirror mortal. Looking in the behavioral mirror and magnifying the mortal in ourselves. Honestly, authentically, not this whole current trend of looking to check and see if there's like a rainbow coming out of our assets and being sure that there's a halo wherever we go and a happy ending before you even begin the beginning. See, in the behavioral mirror on the wall, who's the mirror on the wall, who's the fairest, fair, F-A-I-R, fairest, or most fair of them all, should be us. And fair is obviously balanced by claiming why you are where you're at and not blaming where you're not. But see, that person where they're at because of something that you don't have. Seems confusing, but that's why we don't ever challenge it, because it easily confuses and muddles the point. How does that even make sense? Give an example. It's kind of like the outcome of the Super Bowl. Oops, I don't think I was supposed to say that without paying somebody something. Okay, you know, the big game being decided by the pre-kickoff coin toss. Honestly, whoever said, yeah, my team would have won that game if they just hadn't lost the coin toss at the beginning? Really? Let's pray the NFL never flips out over the coin toss. Because once the USA has slid into this equity-driven mode that outstrips the American history of believing anything is possible, no matter the cards that you're dealt with at the beginning or how the dice roll, that's when the only victory won will be one of not the Super Bowl, but the super victim. Well, thank God in the NFL that they flip that damn coin and they don't spin the poor bastard. Now we're talking numbers here. Side note here, studies show that a tossed coin will average 51 to 49 split on how it lands using an exactly identical machine-controlled launching technique. But how that coin falls when it's spun is about 80% of the time tails up, meaning that 80% of the time the coin went where the heads were taking it. Spin after spin after spin after, no matter how you spin it. Heads is heavier, heads falls first. Heads is heavier, heads falls first. Coin follows the head's direction. And guess what? We're like that coin. And I've always said to clients that we're like horses, bridle trained. Where the head goes, the body will follow. So follow your head. Put a different spin on that coin and catch yourself any and every time that you think you're saying, okay, well, they do this or have this or are this because they have that or are lucky enough to or were given this, whatever the fill in the blank is. Now, flip the coin and say, okay, I don't do, I don't have, and I'm not because I don't possess, or I wasn't given that. Then you now have the power to ask, is that true? Is that really true? Now you can ask the question, why don't I have? Why don't I possess? Why am I not? It's a two-sided coin. Put a different spin on that coin and see if 80% of the time you can predict which way your head will follow and fall. And then, follow your head. Giddy up! And now, more words of wisdom to wow your socks off from the Live Life Lean Guide itself. Entry number 357. I think the girl who is able to earn her own living and pay her own way should be happy as anybody on earth. The sense of independence and security is very sweet. Susan B. Anthony. And the guide's point of view on this? I know a gal who said that a woman's work is never done. And even when complete, well, that's when the real job begins of earning equal pay and respect. So what do you think about this? Using the Live Life Lean Guide system, what have you earned lately? It wasn't just handed to you. What have you learned that is new to you? Where have you added to the world that only wasn't just about you? And now, be grateful for that. Reflect on it, respect it, and navigate somewhere next. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying your copy of the Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N guide. Enjoying it almost as much as I did creating it. And if you don't have a copy yet, go on over to amperage.com or Amazon and get started today experiencing the amazing power of knowing every day is literally yours to be grateful about. And you need never feel unfulfilled again. I'm Jim Hall. And until next time, good health, God bless. And now, go get a little dirty learning something new. Earning what's not given to you. Adding to this crazy world that we share. And navigating your way to something new and next.